And the definition of a word cannot be an Ouroboros that eats itself. It can't be a woman is anyone who says they are a woman, which is a woman.
Okay, this is an important point. When they bring up arguments like this, it's that there is no mutually agreed upon definition of these words in the first place. And when you go to look at those definitions, like, hold on, chat. We're going to look at a dictionary. Today, we're going to be going over the Ben Shapiro debate that apparently someone from the Catboy Ranch Discord did in person. And I just found out about this. It just got uploaded to Ben Shapiro's channel. But on the 7th, she uploaded it herself. So I'm excited to see that. Also, if you're just getting here, make sure to like the stream on YouTube. I have no idea how many likes the stream has, but do it anyway. Thank you. Okay, where is this gone? Okay, got it. Thank you for your patience. I was going through the Discord and I saw this. So Demigloom said, I debated Ben Shapiro last night. I have mixed feelings about my performance, and if folks could leave feedback, it would be very appreciated. I'm very excited for this. Also, I love the fact that people in our communities are doing this kind of thing. They're actually going out in person and having these kinds of debates. I will always celebrate when someone touches grass. Okay, let's get this going.
Hello, Ben. There was a time where the word mother exclusively described a woman in relation to her biological offspring, but our definition has since shifted to account for adoption, leaving us with a more social and less biological outlook on motherhood. My question for you is how affirming transgender identity is such a threat to biology when we have clear precedent for similar shifts in language?
Okay, so usually there is a distinction. You can call somebody mother, but then an adopted mother is not going to be insulted when you say biological mother. Right? An adopted mother is not going to say the biological mother is an inappropriate term. The trans movement claims that the...
Jeez. Like, he's already just off the bat completely wrong. Just retarded already. I mean, the thing is with these kinds of things, like when you're going there to ask the question, it's never going to be sincere, and it was an insult by implication here. He was implying here that the adopted mother wouldn't be offended because the adopted mother wouldn't be trans. And the end of the argument is that trans women aren't women. But like once you're making these sorts of arguments, then you're basically throwing out adopted mothers altogether. You're just throwing them under the bus.
Term biological female is somehow offensive. The trans movement will claim that female encompasses not biology somehow. It's a bizarrely illogical categorization. So the trans movement is not a threat to biology. Biology is biology. People will continue to reproduce. I mean, some of us. But in any case, the no implication made. But in any case, the
banger. And this is the thing too. It's deeply misogynistic, and it's throwing women under the bus who can't give birth. Like anytime that they make that kind of joke about trans women, do they think that any of the cis women that are in the room that can't give birth, that may have tried, aren't also pissed? It's such a low blow.
Some people will continue to reproduce. Those reproductive relationships will be almost entirely male-female. The only exceptions would be in vitro or artificial insemination, which will be an extraordinarily tiny percentage of actual inseminations and pregnancies. So biology is not threatened. Truth is threatened. I'm not worried about biology being threatened. If you want to threaten your own biology, I mean, that's your prerogative. But truth, the idea that male refers to a biological category as opposed to an idea that you have in your head that is unverified.
Yeah, no, he's just throwing as many barbs as he can. Like saying, I don't care if you threaten your own biology is basically the nicest way that you could be like, I don't care if you mutilate your genitals.
Viable by any sort of objective reality. That is something that nobody who cares about truth should acquiesce to. The entire way that we communicate is through words that have mutually agreed upon definitions. And the definition of a word cannot be an Ouroboros that eats itself. It can't be a woman is anyone who says they are a woman, which is a woman.
Okay, this is an important point. When they bring up arguments like this, it's that there is no mutually agreed upon definition of these words in the first place. And when you go to look at those definitions, like, hold on, chat. We're going to look at a dictionary. Definition. Woman. With this Oxford Language Dictionary. We got an adult female human being. Define female. Of or denoting the sex that can bear offspring or produce eggs, distinguished biologically by the production of ova that can be fertilized. Now, here's the thing to point out with these definitions. It's of or denoting. Like, even by his own logic, he's wrong. Now, define the. Denoting one or more people or things already mentioned or assumed to be common knowledge. Very cool. Yeah, there's just no mutually agreed upon definition for any of these words. Alright, let's get back to it.
It's completely circular. That has no definition. If you want to define a category, the category has to have definition. And any attempt to broaden that category out to include things that are clearly not in that category, and in fact, there are only two categories, male and female. They're actually in the other category. That is a fundamental assault on the truth, and nobody should accept that.
In one of your more infamous debates, you said, "I'm not going to modify basic biology because it threatens your subjective sense of what you are."
Yes.
My argument is not that terms like biological female or biological male are necessarily offensive. My argument is that you are saying that referring to a trans woman as a woman or a trans man as a man or et cetera, is like inherently offensive or threatens biology. And I'm curious why it's so threatened when there's clear precedent for changing the language.
Again, the term mother does not include father. Every category has to have boundaries. The boundary of female starts at male. And when you start including male in the category of female, you are threatening biological definitions as well as basic truth.
Well, you could say the category of mother starts at conception or, a biological relation to an offspring. But as we know,
but again, the idea that you are, but the idea of mother.
Yeah, it's just intersex people exist. There are people who have male and female chromosomes simultaneously at the same time who give birth, who can present either as male or female. He's just kind of really mad and he's sticking to the truth. This is the prescriptivism versus descriptivism debate. Thank you for telling me this, Walter White. I need to learn more nerd shit like this.
Being the act of mothering, right? And that is a female. A female does the act of mothering. You can say that a female who does the act of mothering is a mother, but you also have a special category called biological motherhood. I'm not going to say that an adoptive mom and a biological mom have precisely the same definition. They don't. They're underneath a subset of category called motherhood. That motherhood sometimes involves birth, sometimes it does not, but it certainly involves being a female.
What do you think about the distinction between cis women and trans women?
Explain.
Well, you're saying that a more inclusive usage of the word mother isn't particularly offensive because we also have biological mother.
Yes.
We've offered the term cis woman, and even biological woman or assigned female at birth. We've offered a variety of terms that properly categorize people.
Again, you cannot extend the term woman to apply to a biological male. Every category has an endpoint. If there are only two categories, male and female, and you say that female now is in this category, there are no definitions. There are no definitions. I mean, to paraphrase my friend Matt Walsh, I'm going to need you to explain what a woman is without reference to the word woman.
Oh yeah, no, he's really mad. He knows that he's wrong. Even by the dictionary definition, he's wrong. Even if you define woman as an adult human female, he's wrong. Definitions change over time, and I'm happy to say that people like Matt Walsh are steadily losing relevancy. He can't even fill a university auditorium anymore. It's really funny when Matt Walsh has to call out the Pope because now the Pope of the Catholic Church is more progressive on trans issues than him.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say it's necessarily circular to say that a woman is someone who exhibits womanhood.
Yes, it is.
And that
It is definitionally circular.
well,
That's like saying a hand is something that fundamentally shows handhood.
What was that? That doesn't even make sense. He's so mad right now. Holy shit.
Well, what I have
A
to
tree
say,
is something that demonstrates the qualities of treehood. What new actual definitional content have you added to the word?
I can define womanhood for you, which is a set of characteristics associated with females, and a woman as someone who exhibits said womanhood.
Okay, well, you have just used the word female and woman to define each other. So you say a woman is a female, but not a biological female. A female is a woman, and a woman is a female. But at no point have you added any new content.
No, I said a woman is someone who exhibits womanhood, and womanhood is a set of characteristics.
It's literally the dictionary definition of woman and female. At this point, he's just getting mad at the Oxford English Dictionary. Like, she's fucking rolling him.
Yes, and that doesn't mean anything.
How does it not
the
mean
reason it doesn't
anything?
mean again, a dog is a thing that exhibits the characteristics of doghood. It's a set of characteristics characterized by being a dog. I've added no content to that. If you have no idea what a dog is, you still have no idea what a dog is.
There are plenty of labels that refer to concepts. This is not a new thing.
It's not a label referring to a concept. It's a label that's referring to the same word as the concept. You can't do that. That's fundamentally circular.
To the same word. I'm saying that womanhood.
You have not defined even womanhood. You said a set of characteristics that applies to females, and then you're applying it to males. So clearly, this is nonsensical. I'm sorry that it doesn't. I'm sorry that your attempts to worm a definition into nonsense are not succeeding. But like, I can't make that fit into logic because it doesn't. I mean, I'm sorry.
Okay, I think that she did really good. Like, there's only so much that you can do in these circumstances when you are debating people like Ben Shapiro. Like, at the end of the day, Ben has all of the power in that debate. She did really good. And she also held her composure very well. That was really impressive. And I think that's also the thing, is that she held her composure, and because she held her composure so well, Ben started panicking. Because if she didn't, and Ben sensed that she was going to stumble over all of her words, Ben would have just walked circles around her. Instead, he just ended up coming off incredibly fucking mad and unreasonable. That was really impressive. I don't know if I would be able to hold my composure in that same circumstance. You fucking rule.